Inside the home of Frank Maggot Associates, work goes on that affects the way 150 million of us see our local news.
And what one thing don't you particularly like about Channel 6 local news?
All in all, which is your overall favorite station for the local news?
Would you switch to another station for the entire newscast?
The primary reason that people come to us is to improve the quality of their newscast and thereby increase the number of viewers that will watch that newscast.
Okay. And which one of all the sportscasters do you personally like the best?
And which one weathercaster do you personally like best?
We're Frank and Maggot Associates, and I'm Frank Maggot.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And which one of all the anchor people do you personally like least?
All of the work that we do is based upon research that we conduct in the field, and on the basis of what that research shows, we recommend a course of action. We design research, analyze that research, are concerned with what the population, what the marketplace, the audience responds to. Ultimately, what it comes down to is the application of data in individual markets. Our consulting staff is responsible for doing just that.
This is Night Beat with Susan Kidd, Jim Longworth with the weather, and Charlie Harville with sports.
Good evening. Greensboro police had to use a boat to rescue a woman and 2 children stranded on Industrial Avenue tonight. The woman apparently tried to drive her car through deep water and got stuck. The National Weather Service says the heavy rain should be over for tonight, but by nightfall, most of the damage had been done anyway.
Basically, we had a problem. The research showed a declining audience because it was not a growing, changing type of newscast. It had the same appeal. It was not changing. It hadn't changed in 5 or 10 years. It had a very solid format of news, commercial, sports, commercial, weather commercial. Anchor person says good night.
As you watch this newscast, which is the before newscast from a couple of years ago, it moves slowly. It feels kind of cold, kind of remote.
There were numerous traffic jams because of standing water, but tonight...
It became very apparent that unless we made a change, we were going to be number 3. So first area you go to work on in any newscast is just gut journalism. And then once you have the guts and you feel comfortable with it, then you say, okay, we worry about the window dressing so it looks nice. I mean, it's the difference between putting a package under the Christmas tree wrapped in brown paper and putting Christmas tree wrapping on it. So we worry about the window dressing, but the guts have got to be there or people won't come back. So we tried to put together a show that moved quickly, that still had Southern charm, that covered all the news, covered it very well, and had a feeling, a personality, a color to it, a texture, a sound, a movement, something that people could grab a hold of.
From the Action Center in Greensboro, this is News 2, number 1 in the Piedmont.
Good evening, I'm Bill Copal.
And I'm Susan Kidd. For the second week in a row, a major winter storm has struck North Carolina, this time bringing us just under 2 inches in the Triad, but much more to the rest of the state. And we have a series of reports on today's snow, starting with environmental reporter Jerry Wallace, who's on East Market Street with live action cam. Jerry, how's it looking out there?
Well, right now, Susan, things are starting to turn cold, and every once in a while a few snow flurries are flying in the air. But it was a big day as far as school closing, and with that problem and those stories, we have Dave Wright, who is inside the Highway Patrol here in Greensboro, and Dave has this report.
There have been, so far as we know, only 2... Okay. What's going on? We have defined a specific colors theme. We have carried that through in graphics, in the opening. There is a certain amount of energy of the open which says this is what you're going to expect from the broadcast. We have developed a co-anchor situation here. We have showcased the live action cam. We're going to a live action cam. We have 2 different people. We use a split screen. Everything starts coming together. And the whole show is based upon maintaining that pacing, that flow, that feeling, that color scheme, that personality that has been developed. and it includes everything.
From the Action Center in Greensboro, this has been News 2, number 1 in the Piedmont.
There is no fixed formula for television news. It's something that is constantly evolving, ever changing, and it's come a long, long way since the early man bites dog stories.